Hi, it's Marty, the Meticulous Hack. I'm kind of stuck wearing these pajamas because I already did the video in them, and I had this idea for a clickbait title, and the theme was that some plumbing jobs are so easy you could do them when you're half asleep, and it was just stupid. I don't care if you click or watch or like or anything, you know, that just seems desperate to me. These are all just an experiment anyway. Normally I edit my videos and I do them and then I hate everything I do, so I never post anything, but this actually has some pretty good information in it because this is a 2-year follow-up on the Fluidmaster Better Than Wax seal. I'm going to pull up my toilet, see how well it's held up over the last 2 years. This is my third video on my toilet seals and flange problems, but today I'm going to fix it in a way that it's going to last 20 years and be done with it. In the meantime, let's backtrack a little and let me show you what got us here to begin with. I started out trying to fix my unsupported drain pipe by using spray foam, thin set, and caulking, making a gutter around the flange and a drainage ditch in the grout joint so that any leak would come out onto the floor. I filled in divots in the cast iron, put a double wax seal around the flange, and cut some straws to use as guides for when I dropped the toilet down on top. That little overflow gutter was lined up perfectly. I put a support on the back wall because 3-bolt toilet tanks, like mine, tend to leak if you lean back on them. Then, in the second video, after being highly criticized by plumbers leaving comments, I pulled the toilet up to take a look at my so-called mistakes. As it turned out, it was just fine. At this point, in an attempt to advance civilization, I chose to use a new seal on it that was made in this century, as opposed to wax. I picked the Fluidmaster Better Than Wax seal and stacked 2 of them along with a little extra added wax for safety's sake because it just didn't seem quite right. Here we go, my final toiletectomy on this bathroom. I didn't even seal the bottom of this to the floor knowing I was going to come back and do it again. I'm going to mark exact spots on both sides of the bottom of the bowl. This is where it will need to descend onto the floors so that its drain will hit the center of the seal without having to scoot it around or reposition it. Alright, well at first glance this upper seal looks okay, but let's take it off and get a closer look. This was the seal on top. I double sealed it, and this was the one against the toilet. And as you can see, there's evidence of some water coming up close to the edge here where it would have leaked over, and the glue stayed on this one. This is, they got like pieces of rubber chipping off here. So the chemicals in the water did affect this. Yeah, that's pushed in. It's pushed in. All this is. Yeah, this flap should be on a smaller drain hole, definitely. This one, look at that. This completely came off from being glued. Now, it probably was pressing up against there, but it was just ready. I mean, it was only being held on by pressure. You know, the glue from this foam just really didn't hold up at all. So it's a good thing I put wax on it, but yeah, it was sinking down in there, so this was not a good thing for at least this size drain anyway. Just for the sake of being thorough, I'm going to get some of this old wax out. There are some rusty pits in this cast iron that don't go all the way through, so I'm filling them in. I'm no doubt going to have some plumbers tell me I'm doing this wrong. Just building it up a little bit on the back end to make up for my out of level flange, which is only 1/8 of an inch out of level, but it doesn't really matter, and I'm not really putting that much on it. So This is my channel that I made for the water to flow out. I made an indent in this grout line, and also I have an indent on the toilet base itself to match up with that. Make sure that any leakage is going to come out onto the floor and I'm going to see it. These are my straws that I use to line up the toilet bolts, but a commenter wrote in that why not make it one longer than the other. That way you can see one side first and then the other side. And I thought that was a great idea. I'll show you what that looks like. Looking at this straight on with the wall, another commenter wrote that part of the problem with this flange is that somebody installed it so that these gaps are at 11 and 5 o'clock rather than 12 and 6 o'clock. And that way, that would make this more clockwise, and these closet bolts wouldn't be so close to the ends of these slots. Looking over at the left side, that longer straw is going through the hole, and now I line up the right side. Now I know my drain is centered because of these arrows, and that's close enough. My drain gap is back here, so I don't want to caulk that. I want to start right in front of that. In conclusion, I would not use a modern rubber toilet seal. They all have their problems from my research. However, if you had to change the seal and you knew you were going to have to get a new toilet soon, within the next, I don't know, a couple of years, then yeah, go ahead and use one, because then you don't have a mess to clean up when you put your new toilet on. But make sure that you have a PVC drain pipe, because they have a whole lot more surface area for the seal to sit on rather than my big cast iron one from the 70s. As you can see, I use the gooey, waxy, messy one, the old-fashioned thing, because I just want to be done with it. That's all. I've learned enough from these 3 toilet videos I've done to last me another 20 years. So, you know, I'm good. This is normally the part of my video where I talk about these ideas that I have, and I show these examples of things that I invented to make toilets better for us. But the truth is, they have some really great toilets out there that don't give you issues. It's just that they're really expensive. They're not for like the little people, you know, like me. Or you know, the worms, the vermin. Hey, they do have these toilets that have high flush capacity though. In the big box stores, they're actually very affordable. They have one that'll flush the equivalent of a rack of billiard balls. But I've got too much toilet uptightness to ask for that. I can't go in a store and say, oh, you don't have the billiard balls one? What about, you have one that'll flush the capacity of a bucket of golf balls? What about that? Yeah, not a half bucket, you know, I need the, you know, I can't do it. So, there you go. I did my best, tried to salvage a bad video here. You know, I've got more interesting videos coming out, so, you know, I don't know. I even wore a costume for you, so come on, get off my back.